This morning, then we started to look at the direct perception. We saw direct perception is divided into four, namely that of sense direct perceivers, mental, self-knowing, and yogic direct perceivers. We spent the morning looking at sense direct perceivers, which are divided in two ways, either into three or into five. And we ended by looking at the fivefold division, where sense direct perceivers are divided according to the various senses, the five senses. And we looked at the first one, the sense direct perceiver apprehending a form, and that we see in the text is defined as that which is generated in dependence on its own uncommon empowering condition, the eye sense power, and its observed object condition, a form, and is a knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So that's what we are looking at this morning.
Bendigo also migi wangbu ngosum de la ya ane jinga zugi chema Geshe nana mangaya pa se da migi jida migi sheba la lokshe yo roda migi sheba lokshe yo re de ine migi wangbu ngosum la yo de lokshe yo ba migi wangbu ngosum la yo de lokshe me ba wa jida migi wangbu ngosum de la ane migi suk to be ge chema che ane chema dangbo to ba chema che de kichi ni ba de Geshe che, dan su nana ya, ane doma tuba ina nana manga ba se nga, dan migi wangpo nga sumde la, chema Geshe nana manga sum yore, diyo ba na sin jigwa da, nayo wangpo nga sumde la ya, chema Geshe nana manga sum, nayo wangpo se la, chema Geshe nana manga ba, je wangpo nga sumde la ya, chema Geshe nana manga ba, chasan la, wangpo gi, nga sum nga bo, So
as you've seen, sense direct perceivers can be divided into three or into five. But actually these two divisions rarely can be combined and should be combined. So if we divide sense direct perceivers into five according to the type of object that the sense direct perceiver apprehends, then each of those five can be divided into three. So if we look at the fivefold division, sense direct perceivers apprehending form. So this will refer to the eye sense direct perceiver. And the eye sense direct perceiver, there is one that is a valid cognizer, there's one that's a subsequent cognizer, as well as a non-ascertaining awareness. So in this way, all five of the sense direct perceivers that are divided according to the various senses, they can be each subdivided into three, into valid cognizers, into correct assumption, and non-ascertaining awarenesses. And moreover, when we generally talk about an eye consciousness, we should bear in mind that an eye consciousness doesn't necessarily fulfill the definition of direct perception, namely a knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken, because eye consciousnesses can be wrong consciousnesses. But if an eye consciousness is a sense direct perceiver, we know it's not a wrong consciousness, because it is unmistaken. So just one new thing here to add, though, is firstly the way the divisions can be combined, and secondly, an eye consciousness is not necessarily a eye sense direct perceiver, because an eye consciousness can be wrong. But if it's an eye sense direct perceiver, it cannot be a wrong consciousness.
나요 가서래 자승원 숨 세야디 다 지바레 랑의 투모마이메 다긴 나요 원보 세야디 한델레 수 참모 당화지요레스 델레야 안에 자디 파샤요도 안에 자디기 데니게 자샤데 데네 나요 원보지 데네 자디 안에 미긴제네 델레 데네 자 퇴게기 년시의 기리스 제가 데네자 랑의 투모마이메 다긴 나요 원보다 랑의 미긴 도규브 잘라티네 기비기다 셰바텔라 살루밀루 리파텔라 아소 밀루소 데니게 도바던 자시 말주리파 저로와 도바마이 말주리파텔라 나위 셰바라 그래지로다 나위 셰바 모디.
At the bottom of page 3, we see the definition for a sense direct perceiver. So here, the definition of a sense direct perceiver, you'll see it's very similar. A sense direct perceiver apprehending sound is very similar to what we had immediately above for a sense direct perceiver apprehending a form. So the definition of a sense direct perceiver apprehending a sound is that which is generated in dependence on its own uncommon empowering condition, the ear sense power, and its observed object condition, a sound, and is a knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So the way these definitions differ is in terms of what the uncommon empowering condition is and what the observed object condition is. So in the case of it being sound, then it's the ear sense power, which again is a subtle form within the ear, that is the ear sense power, and the observed observed object condition is sound.
디나신다 지바레 네이 셰바세야들라 랑이 투모마다기 네이 원보세야제 제 안은 델라테네 델라샤 네이 원보들라 셰비지 지시어로안 지기 다긴 제발라테네 기비 도바단데 마트위리바 람나 단 네이 셰비기 네이 원보스미 챙이사샤그로와.
One can apply this format to the other sense direct perceivers, such as those apprehending odors and tastes. So when we would just change the uncommon empowering condition to that of being of the taste sense consciousness, and then the taste sense power, and the observed object condition being taste. And similarly with odor, then the uncommon empowering condition would be the nose sense power, and the observed object condition would be an odor.
디 원보딩은 저기 강반의 고보다 차상을 수부 차상을 캡도 여래지와 원보디 류원디 진짜 류원 류기 원보다 다 델라 셰위게 자 가서 략자디 다기 미긴 제발 때네 계획에 안 도바다 되게 마주리 파세네 류기 원병 어섬세지 안 라고르바다.
And likewise for the final one, that of a sense direct perceiver apprehending tangible objects, then the definition would be that which is generated in dependence on its own uncommon empowering condition, the physical sense power. So this is a subtle form that pervades the whole, or covers the whole body, and its observed object condition, a tactile object, and is a knower that is non-conceptual and unmistaken. So in this way we can understand all 5 of the sense direct perceivers in this way.
제가 왕보 모습들라 가서 왕보들라 야구도 개발해 봐자 간주기 셰고 메셰로 지네 내가 누가 치중여로 같이 숙충조 오스네 샤르투가 진네 충주도 예샤마도와 용구로와 디나진다 메셰 누가 체에 충주시고 이내 앞 샤르투야 용구로와 메셰들 누가 치중여바 나시 아주 왕보들라야 근데 야도 누가 치중 용구로와 왕보가 제 야가 유나 텔레야 안 숙충아 차와디 샤르투야다 안에 왕보디기 제라야 오스마도 메나 야 충주시부디 샤마도와 오스마도 마샤 제자 디네자 왕보라 개발을 요래서.
Earlier today we used the illustration of the role a microscope plays in taking something that is otherwise unseen and making it appear or arise in the microscope, and then the eye sense consciousness can apprehend what appears to it by means of the microscope. And microscopes vary in strength. Some are more powerful, others less so. So we can take this analogy to understand that sense powers too vary in strength. The more developed, the more powerful a sense power is, the greater the better it will perform in terms of objects appearing to the sense power.
Mashawanza Migi Shebadigi and the Sukmato and the Jatan, Jitan, Rachatan, and Rodige, Ahuomarwa. Dinajin Navi Wombodella, Jashawamato, Jale Shembigeda, Sukta, and the Jitan, Roda, Rachati Shagomare. Dineza Navi Shebadigi, Jatavamato, Jadikuramado, Shanda Hahuomare. In Dinaja, the Jivare, they Wombodella, Jidi Shagomata, Shanda Shagomare. Chi wongpo de rode shawa mato shanda shagyo ma suk shanda shagyo ma mashawanza sheba khorongi wongpo khorong le ya suk di ane so shawa di mato ane shanda suk shanda di shag me wanza washi di gi ya ane mi wongpo le tinge wongpo sheba di suk thwa ma de jadan ji ha mo ma so na yu wongpo le timbi gi na yu sheba di gi yan ja ha ko ma de shanda ha mo ne wongpo gi Tempe ne Shepadigia and did have Gormada, Shanda Hagomare. Tinashi, G. Ombola Tempe, Chishitigi, Rodi Hagomada, Shanda Hagomare, Corona Ombola Gang Shawadi, Tongurmada, Shadama Shawadi, Mashawanza, Tongomar, Mevanza, Konogi, Sosogi, Yudi Soso, Mother, never is.
Furthermore, we should understand that to a particular sense power, only its particular type of object can appear to it. So, for example, to the eye sense power, only forms can appear to it. Only objects of only form can appear to the eye sense power. Similarly, only sound can appear to the ear sense power, and so forth. And then similarly, in the same way that only sound can appear to the ear sense power, only an ear sense consciousness can apprehend the sound that has appeared to the ear sense power. A different sense consciousness cannot apprehend the sound that appears to the ear sense power. And likewise, an ear sense power can only have sound appear to it. It can't have an object of sight or an object of touch or taste appear to it. So there's a definite connection between the type of object that can appear to a particular sense power and similarly the type of sense consciousness that comes about independent on that one sense power. So there's only the stream of, for example, an object that is an odor can only appear to a nose sense power, and only a smell sense consciousness can arise independent on the nose sense power. It cannot be anything other than this one stream of connection. One cannot, a differing sense power cannot observe a differing object, nor can a differing sense consciousness observe a differing object.
지난 주력샤레 마도 수마 가서래 수기 기체세야 돼 말했어. 지난 미기 왕볼라 추셔가 말와스. 아니 미샤가 메나 추딩 아주 수부게 렌하고야 력샤레스. 지난 되네 인자 아니 맞아 미기 시베 단데 추통도 와선 가레스. 아니 왕볼라 추셔가 말와스 지워슬리고와. 지데델야 저기 추 미기 왕보라 취셔고 말해서 아니 가르셔고는 취 수년의 수다 취 카도디게 셔고라 취입다 취 카도디게 미기 왕보라 셔고라서 제 미기 통야디 취 카도다 취입디게 통고라서 모두 충원에디 미기 왕보게 통고 말해서 제가 되는 인자 미기 왕보 마타는 안나 저기 어머니 취도 취용요 마데민도 취망부도 세나 라이도 하지 마타는 가스rel라나 안나 저 직된나 델리아 로비 이년이 가르송 거라서는 아 저기 직된 용달이야 안 취카도다 입디 통에도 취통성선 레고레스 마도 델리아 취카도 통 취카도 통도 취통성 취입 통등의 취통성선 레고레스 마도 중원의 단에디 원비 미기시베 통고 말레스 제가 취카도다 입 통하라 마도 취통성선 지대 용달이야 안도 쓰는 베지던 거 해지
Løbende ikke kong Tyrkiet er på.
Det.
Now to be even more specific here, let's think about the object, water. So we all say we can see water. If we have a glass in front of us, we'll say there is water in there or there isn't water in there. Or if we look at a dam, we'll say, oh, there's lots of water or there's very little water. But if we look at it in more detail, it's a little strange because water is an object of touch. It's not an object of sight. So we actually, our eye sense consciousness, our eye sense consciousness, an object of touch cannot appear, only an object of sight. So, because to an object of sight, all that appears is to our eye sense consciousness, the object, all that appears of the object is its color and shape. So therefore, when we see water, what our eye sense consciousness is seeing in dependence on the eye sense power is only the color and shape of water. But in the world, when we talk, you say, yes, I've seen water, there's lots of it, there's very little of it. But actually what we've really seen is just the color and shape of water. We haven't actually seen water because water is an object of touch. It's not an object of sight. But nevertheless, as Vasubandhu in Abhidhamma says very clearly, whilst the eye sense consciousness, in dependence on the eye sense power, only sees color and shape, the way ordinary people talk, or the way people in the world talk, is that we'll say, we've seen water, but we haven't really seen water, we've just seen its color and shape.
루시기 용어도 되는 가지고 암초도 세야 되는 가지고 당이 자다 찍바 차로로 대신 디나신 찍바 차고라다.
In the same way that when we really only seen the color and shape of water, but we say amongst ourselves, oh, I can see water. Likewise, as we heard this morning, the young child who's never seen, used a mirror and therefore never seen their face, they will touch their ear and they'll be able to say, I have an ear. So they haven't actually perceived the ear, they've just touched this on the side of their head, and in dependence on that, they can say, I have ears. But they haven't actually observed or seen their ears.
Geshe
지금 아주 발레 사기르베선 사기오래 거래 발레 믹 통구돼서 통구도 라기로와 세상에 통구를 사기오라비도 근데 네가 말하는 지시 녀자에는 미시기 송자 차고 말에 미시기 송야 되는 지시 녀야 돼 차고 말에 네가 와 차려 봐 진짜 되는 현장 안 주기 미기 통서야 돼 고 입대다 수티 통고래 다 사실이 막 그거 입디 봐 주고 때 녀야게 지시 녀야 돼그 발레가 로디 용고와 로디 용고와 진짜 녀야 가가래 대가 저기 지디 녀라라 수디 통에 되게 디 통송사다 디 로디 녀도 네 발레 세빈 시고로다 세빈 시데 안디키 시고로다 제소야 지바 차고래.
When the young monks are debating this on the debate courtyard, they will take objects that they're very familiar with. So if they have morning debates, then it will end with lunch later being served, and lunch will often include bread. So they'll say, today we have bread for lunch. And then someone will ask, so you're saying there's bread, you're saying you're seeing bread. But bread is not an object of sight, is an object of taste. Because an object of the visual consciousness, all that appears to the visual consciousness is the color and shape. So this round, flat thing, that's off-white color, then that is the color and shape of bread, but that's not necessarily bread, because the color and the shape is what appears to the eye sense consciousness. So you're saying you're seeing this, and now later when you're eating the bread, you're saying, I'm eating bread because I can taste it. But what is the object of the taste consciousness? It's not bread, it is just whether it's sweet or whether it's sour. That is just a taste that is appearing to the taste consciousness. So here what we're doing is differentiating the precision that one goes to in debate when one's following the definitions, and separating that from how we generally talk about things in the world, so that the two are not contradictory. But when we're being very precise, all that our sense consciousness perceives, in dependence on the visual sense power, is color and shape. And likewise with taste, the taste sense consciousness, in dependence on the taste sense power, only knows taste. It doesn't know bread, it just knows taste. So, only being very precise, we can have a bit of fun with this. But generally in the world, we don't talk with such precision.
직제다바 지게 좀 담아와 가시게 가르친 거라서네 리지게 셰바 니차산 왕셰 세나면서 셰바 지라래라 거라 셰바 카카 두요 말에 나요 말에 셰바 지레스 베네 강바 지나라 강바 지체 고가요 바세 베네 고주 강바도 고주요 바세 나로들의 미직마도 되면은 미직디 베네 샤쇼고 권마 된도 콜밍가르다라스는 샤쇼 권에 된비 미스밍다그레스 양고야 나로 주체 양 로쇼 권마 된도 로쇼네 권에 된비 미 나 눕절 마 된도 눕쇼 권에 된비 미세데 고기 개벌 전에 콜 카카 랍샤마도 돈다 미치라제스 미치디 파데 야 나조 야 파데 추데 두시 미치라마도 요 말스 이나 고카가 요바자 고카가네 잠잠까브레까브레 되녀도 콜야 샤쇼 권에 된비 미 로쇼 권에 된비 누쇼 권에 된비 미세 민카가 다샤마도 돈다 미치라레라고 어디나시 왕봉아 요반자 이기 셰바레스 이기 셰바 지나지마도 셰바 지디 잠잠 미기 왕봉은 파다 숙을 때고래 까브레라 나요 왕봉토네 잘 때고래 까브레라 아니 디 네요 왕봉토네 질레다 지 왕봉토네 롤라다 데 류요 왕봉토네 라샤라다 두스 때고래 셰바 지라레스 또 왕봉 카카네 든고레스 진짜 돈달 셰바 지마도 요 마레스 데네 라관제 용고라다
Lakente Drupta Kariyame Kara Sumete?
Samsamba Jerakpachi mit.
Lakime. So we see here that sense direct perceivers can be divided into these 5, and we can say this also, as you heard earlier, mental direct perception. So we can say 6 types of consciousnesses. But not all tenets accept, not all philosophical schools, that there are these 5 sense direct perceivers and a mental consciousness. They say no, there aren't 5. There's actually only 1. And they use an analogy to illustrate this. So they say, if there's a room with 6 doors, within that room with 6 doors, there's only 1 person. And if that person is going towards the southern door, then we'd impute the name, that person is going in a southerly direction. We just impute southerly, we could impute this is a southern person, because they're at the southern door. And if they go to the northern door, we would impute onto that person, they're a northerner, because they're now by the northern door. But it's all still 1 person. So likewise, there's only 1 consciousness, and that's a mental consciousness. And this is because, and so they say that there's only 1 consciousness, a mental consciousness. And sometimes this mental consciousness engages through one of the doors, and then a differing name is imputed. So if it's engaged through the visual door and engages with visual objects, then we impute visual consciousness. But it's really just a mental consciousness. And if it's sound, we impute hearing consciousness or sound consciousness. But it's just a different name imputed onto mental consciousness. So this is a view of some Buddhists.
다 이기 원숨세 차르데 대시 원숨 신나네 원배 원숨세 된가서 제로브로 지시 마시사체 다 되네 나 이기 원숨세 리에다 이기 원숨.
Now that can be our bridge to moving from sense direct perception to mental direct perceivers.
다 이기 원숨세들라 생이세다 예와니로 당보 생이들라 랑게 투모마인베 다겐도 규베 이완레 되네 깨바 강시 또바단 대신 맞추게 현직이 셔바서래 되네지라네 이종을 숨라기리에서 생이송어래.
We see the definition of a mental direct perception at the top of page 4. That which is produced in dependence on a mental sense power that is its own uncommon empowering condition, and is a consciousness that is an other knower, that is non-conceptual and unmistaken.
사다 그런 게 이기 셔바데 이기 투모모메 다겐들 이왕세시하고 이기 왕보세시하고래 다 이기 왕보라면 이 넘버 셔바시리 넘버 셔바시고래 이기 왕보세시 다 이기 왕보들라 데네 안 계제 안 도바단 많이 봐 맞추기 도바단 자신라도 도바 많이 봐라 그래 도바단 자와란 도바 많이 봐 내 맞추기 봐 맞추기 대 현직적으로 현직라도 라릭 많이 봐서 그래 현직적
당연히 고통 디 이기 원보데 넘버 셔바데 데 고송 데네
나뭐 이기 원보래 다견데 이완래 되네 개바지 대 이기 원보래 되네 개어도 아니 도바 많이 봐지 도바다 잡아서 도바 많이 봐지 대야 맞추어지 되네 아니 맞추어야 되고마다 현직이 셔봐서 그래 현직들 제발 마소나 그 다기 이완래 되네 개바서 도바단 잡아지 맞추어지 현직이 셔봐서야지 그 계시를 마소는 시샤용도 되네 창조인들 이용어 숨세.
So there's several key points here in the definition. So that which is produced in dependence on a mental sense power. So mental sense power is consciousness. So it's a consciousness. Mental sense power, that is its own uncommon empowering condition. So that's one key point. And the second, it is a consciousness that is an other knower. And then that's the second key point. Thirdly, it is non-conceptual. And fourthly, unmistaken.
다들라 이경어 숨들라야 다 예와샤도 다 세마 제시 나나마 숨지바로 이경어 숨들라 세마실리게 제시지로 나나마가 바실리기로.
Where mental direct perceivers are divided, we see there are 3, just like before. Valid cognizers, there are mental direct perceivers. Subsequent cognizers, that are mental direct perceivers. And non-ascertaining awarenesses, that are mental direct perceivers.
아래 다디네 자 당하고 줄라 지게 삼다외네 아주 숙시 임원서 숙통외게 아니 이ing하고 줄라 숙시비 임원 요래 숙심비게 나이 미기 셰바 용거와 아니 숙도베게 똑바기게와 그래서 간스키레스는 림발마서는 가리 당봉아주 숙통외게 숙도베게 미기 셰바도 기고래 니 제라 아니 숙디 다 미기 셰바도 통도 숙통외게 이용어서 기고래 니 제라 아니 숙도베게 잠바 똑바도 기고래 아주 줄라 림발마서는
Let's talk about how the mental direct perceivers that we have. So we take an object, object of form that we see. So when we see those objects of form, we first have an eye consciousness. And this then is followed by mental direct perception. And that mental direct perception is followed by a conceptual consciousness. So there are three consciousnesses here. The first is an eye consciousness, the second is a mental direct perception, and the third, a conceptual consciousness.
만족이 매도로 통한 담보 미기 시비기 매도 통으로 지사다 미기 시비 매도 통에 매도 베기 매도 또 베 참아디기 니 제라 람사 아주 매도 통 이용어스는 기고 람사 매도 통 이용어스는 기고래 대 이용어스는 기야도 니 람기에는 람상 가루고 이용어스는 지사 기직직마도 되고 말해라래 내가 주기래다 대장 안주기 미 매도 통 이용어스는 되기 나라만 로레세 매도도 이용해서 나라만 로레 가서 매도도 또 두고 매도 쉐고래 또 두고 말해 그래서 남상 가루고래 이제 거기 또 여기 뉴스들 말씀 뉴스 통자제 또 두고 말해 아주 이게 소소기부 이게 매도도 이용해서 나라만 로레세 그래.
And to present that in slightly more detail, we take an object, again a flower, we see that with an eye consciousness, which here would be a direct valid cognizer. So we have a direct valid cognizer that is seeing this flower. This is immediately followed by a mental direct perception, which is then followed by a variety of conceptual consciousnesses. So this is the same sequence as was mentioned before, but in a little more detail. The eye consciousness would be a direct valid cognizer. Then this mental direct perception for ordinary beings such as ourselves, it lasts only a moment, only a briefest of moments. And for us, this is an awareness that is non-ascertaining. It's a non-ascertaining awareness. The mental direct perception is a non-ascertaining awareness. So you've had a direct valid cognizer that has seen the object, seen the flower. This is immediately followed by a very brief moment of a mental direct perception. That mental direct perception only is a non-ascertaining awareness. And then that then is followed by a variety of conceptual consciousnesses.
안디네 지나다 이 용어선도 규비 참아 지시에서데 수가주규라 소수기비규라 수 나위게 인원 잔나위 용어선 디로 레시아나위 용어선 차사 나라마바체 유도도 말에 가서 끼지직마도 되고 말에.
For ordinary people like us, the mental direct perceivers that follow from a sense direct perceiver, so they'll be relating to the five sense objects of sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. All of these mental direct perceivers are non-ascertaining awarenesses. So just to be clear, the mental direct perceiver is the non-ascertaining awareness. The sense direct perceiver is a valid cognizer. It has directly realized the objects, but what follows, this mental direct perceiver, that is a non-ascertaining awareness.
It can be, these mental direct perceivers are non-ascertaining, but they are non-mistaken, is that right?
Okay. Deni yigin som di nangla manepare yine konso matruware.
Matruware.
Yes. So they're non-ascertaining but unmistaken.
Yeah. Dene dai dade de aranzu sosukibikyula sukchimpigi sudan jadan jidan roda rejet simbi yonsum yorede tichasa nalama bolore matruare ina chema mare topelo mare milua mare sor. Da phabigula Pabi Gulane, Karingorasene, and this Garsore, Su Simbike, Su Tra, Tiro, Rajatvi, Yungosum, Temayungore, Temayungore. Pabi Gula, Pabi Su Simbi, Yi Yungosum, Jatan, Jidan, Rodan, Rajat, Dobe, Yi Yungosum, Temayungore, Yores.
So for ordinary people like ourselves, the 5 sense objects that are realized by the sense direct perceiver are immediately followed by a mental direct perceiver, and this is a non-ascertaining awareness. So it's non-mistaken, but it's not incontrovertible because it doesn't realize the object. The object isn't realized, so it's not incontrovertible. So for us ordinary people, the sense consciousnesses are followed by a non-ascertaining mental direct perception. But for Arya beings, those who have realized emptiness directly, for Arya beings, their mental direct perceivers that follow a sense direct perception are valid cognizers. So for them, for Arya beings, their mental direct perceivers are incontrovertible. They do realize the object. Another class of beings who may well be ordinary beings do have mental direct perceivers that do ascertain form. And these are those with clairvoyance. So those who have developed calm abiding, and after developing calm abiding have gone on to develop any of the various types of clairvoyance, their mental direct perceivers do apprehend form. They are not non-ascertaining awarenesses. Now the text gives illustrations of these divisions, and the illustrations then refer to, start off with referring to those who have clairvoyance. So the illustration of a valid cognizers that are mental direct perceivers are, for example, the first moment of a clairvoyance that knows another's mind. So the clairvoyance is a mental direct perceiver, its object is another's mind, and this is an ascertaining awareness. But again, it's only that very first moment of this clairvoyance knowing another's mind that is a valid cognizer. Each subsequent moment, second and subsequent moment, are subsequent cognizers that are mental direct perceivers. So the mental direct perceiver that continues, that is a clairvoyance that continues to know another's mind, the second and each subsequent moment are subsequent cognizers, not valid cognizers.
And that patient on the Karashawasne, that ye su sebala haber, cha shimbi, give you jazing on some eager, jazing be on some sigdoa, Chisa, super ninchi virtual part dashin, smiggy, dajbe, delia shukchimbo, dajibe, kabgi, and amjola tragico, do Jatonwi, Koi and Yashikira, di shuk de matado, and the Jatonwi on some skiggies, de on some della, and jazing be on some della, and Nalama Lorig Session.
The illustration that's given here for the third division of a mental direct perceiver, that which is non-ascertaining, a mental direct perceiver apprehending a sound in the continuum of a being whose mind is especially attracted to a beautiful form. And we can then also understand this as what was said earlier, that for us ordinary people, every sense direct perceiver is followed by a brief moment of a mental direct perception, and that for us ordinary people who are not Arya beings, who do not have clairvoyance, those are all non-ascertaining sense direct perceivers. Dene ngazo dep nanglula petsen di mi ngönse yöken kong sempe tadu
di mare
ngönse keshe
ma jidane deji sheba na sul pata dire.
Ja, die sumpadi, ngazo mi pelpa nang se.
Mi pelpa nang se. Ine ngonshe yukan la yonshu ro jigba ro da. Ngonshe yukan jine korong gu su shil pa ta be ta dibe ne ga plya anji traji go ne de ngonshe samdang go mar ko kasan samno phini su ko rang shu shima ta ro. Chisa ngonshe yukan ji ngonshe top de gon chebe ne korong gi samno di ji be su shil pa ta be dona shu je ka bla amjul traji ko be ne. Chisa antradi Nyanshi Kobare, di Chiptomato de Straton Yigi Sheba Digi, and Tradi Nangordina, Koto Mare, Nanamolo Chagri, Moshi Yenare, Mena Jiba Chagri.
The way to understand this third illustration is it applies to two types of beings, ordinary beings such as ourselves, and can also apply to someone with clairvoyance. So ourselves, when we have a mental direct perceiver that apprehends sound in the continuum, or someone like us, whose mind is especially attracted to a beautiful form, that of course will be a non-ascertaining awareness, because all our mental direct perceivers that follow a sense direct perceiver are non-ascertaining. The second way to understand this is that a person who has clairvoyance, who is also distracted by a beautiful form, the sound that their sense direct perceiver that appears to that, their mental direct perceiver will be non-ascertaining. So the second way to understand this is about someone who has clairvoyance, but they are distracted, and so a sound that appears to their ear sense consciousness is not perceived by their mental direct perception, and therefore is a non-ascertaining awareness.
Delia and the Suchasan won't be Sheba, the Yi Sheba, the Shanriki Sheba, or Shanrik. That Shanriki Sheba, the color was in a Dele Shemba, your Ranrik set your race order, Ranrik the Kaya Dondala, Shanriki Sheba. Pene to Sheba, you Zina del Zo, Nang Sheba, Batakan Chita, Chilo and Nang Sheba, Shan, and Sudan and the Mitimetilla Sopa, Davi Ricci Hungures. Since Ranrik said then Zo Nanzuki Nang Sheba, Nang Sheba, Shembi Yuna Zo, and Sheba Jaya Yudi, Sheba Mitik Zindigan Della, Ranrik like this. Shanrik Labdu, Sheba Miga Yung, Sheba Shan, Sudan, Jada, Jeda, and Demeticeta, Marala, Miba Yungures, is that Della Shanrik like this. The Yi Shebatike, Shanrik Shebares, Carson, Yi Shebatike, Suk Tungure, and Tratungure, Demeticeta, Tomba Nida, and the Chasan Hawan Yi Sheba, Sheba Main be Mongolia, Migores, Singores, is that Shanrik Shebares. Migi Sheba Digi, Sugrama to Tungomar, the Sheba Tungomar, Sheba Shen, Suk Tungur, Singor, Shen, Sheba Shebe, Singing Shenrik Sheba, she's not one be Sheba, E Sheba de la Shenrik Sheba.
One term we haven't looked at in the definition is we see the definition of a mental direct perceiver, the second bullet point. It is a consciousness that is an other knower. So an other knower, a consciousness that is an other knower, means that it's a consciousness that knows an object other than itself. So consciousness, we can divide it into those which are other knowers, which know objects other than itself, and self-knowers, though consciousness which knows itself. So an other knower, a mental direct perceiver, is a consciousness that is an other knower. It knows objects that are not itself. And so these could be a variety of objects, of course, objects such as other consciousnesses. It could be objects of form and so forth, various non-associated composites. It could be emptiness, wide variety of objects that are known by a mental direct perceiver. And these mental direct perceivers are always other knowers, knowing an object other than itself. The third division, which we'll come to now, that is that of a self-knower. And this is a knower, an awareness that knows itself.
Uma Rajuba Diki, and the Rajum Seshi Gore, or the Jeramawagi, the Rajum said, Your Marella were killing Shagomare. Uma Tenju began Rajum de killing Gomar Shagomare. Chisam Jeramawala, Mosum Dela, Wabiosum, Yosum, Najumosum, Suma de Yomare. Uma Tenju Bololaya, and the Wabiosum, and Yosum, Najumosum, and the Suma de Yomare. That's the Dodebada, Dodebada, and Semzam Uma Rajuba Sumdigi. Then Najung was one being awesome, Yi awesome, then Rajing awesome, then Najung awesome, say Rajing awesome, the Tawashagore.
Gossam. Dupeki Colade Gossam, in a Dangola, Kadang the Yigin Munsum, Ying Munsum Dang Kadi, Wang Munsum, Denny,
Shandy Sheba.
There, in a consorang young Yore, can I do something?
Mansing me.
I could so shandy, can I do
Shandy Sheba.
Then in Nelson Munsum Kiola Chick Young Sum.
Najung Yorwa, Chesna take the Dode Badang, some Zamba Umaraju or some Digi, one being awesome, Najung Radu or some
Nelson Munsum there, Shandy.
Did the Shandy Sheba?
Then it goes on, Coming now to this third division, that of the self-knowing direct perceivers. So, direct perception, as we see at the top of the third page, is divided into four. But this fourfold division of direct perception is not accepted by all Buddhists. Though the Buddhists who subscribe to the philosophical views of the Sautrantika Chittamatrans and the Svatrantika Madhyamikas, they assert this fourfold division. But those of who accept the views or assert the views of the Vaibhashika and the Prasangika Madhyamikas only assert a threefold division. And where we're coming now is the point of disagreement. The Prasangikas and Vaibhashikas do not accept self-knowers. Not accepting self-knowers, they don't accept self-knowing direct perceivers. So these two schools, the Vaibhashikas and Prasangikas, only assert a threefold division of direct perception. So when we look now at this division of self-knowing direct perceivers, we know that this is only something accepted by the Buddhists who accept or assert the views of the Sautrantika or the Chittamatrans or the Svatrantika Madhyamikas. So a self-knower differs from an other knower. And the other divisions here, sense direct perceivers, mental direct perceivers, and the one we'll still come to, yogic direct perceivers, those other three are other knowers. The self-knower is different from that in that it is a self-knower.
The Umarajuba Nalaya, Umarajuba, Tisani Yorwa, the Juju Umarajuba said, the Dejibu Umarajuba. The Lobel Ladenche, the Dejibu Umarajuba, Lobel Ladenji, and the Rari killing your man. Tell you about the Chiba, Rari said the killing your man.
Lectinte kung do de chu
Umarajuba, the Dejibu Umarajuba, Rari said the killing your man.
And for those who like to be particularly precise, then the Svatrantika have two subdivisions. And within those two subdivisions, only one subdivision accepts the self-cognizer, the other doesn't. So the subdivision of the Svatrantika, namely the Sautrantika, Svatrantika, they do not accept self-cognizers, whereas the other, the Yogacarya Svatrantika, they do accept or do assert self-cognizers.
Jeramawa, say Trupta, Jerami, Trumta, and Dode Bache, and the Rangu Bache, and the Chekura, Akaso Semzambache, Rangu Bache, Uma Basura, Chisan, Taji Jeramawache, and the Dode Bache, Semzamba, Uma Basi, Uma Badinala, Rangu Bata, and the Tenguba Niga Jikjene, Uma Basigura, Chisan Drumta Shisura, Jerama Yutrupta, Dodi Butrupta. Semzabituta, Uma Bituta, as a Shishigore. Standing on the down whichever Cheje, Dumtana Masona, then Jerama Dumta Jena, Sem Dodim Dodi Bigi, Dumta Dersia, Casore, and then Chawaro, Chegore, that Tongal Masona, Nuba Chawarosh. Dele to Stragadi, and then Semzabigi, Semzabigi, Tavi, Namshati, to Saba Chegore. Dele Sabadi Uma Banan Uma Bachakore, the Uma Bada Uma Ranjubadi, Semzembigi, Tawa Dele, Tawa the Sabache, the Dina de Tawa Sapshodi, Uma Tejube Tawa Dele.
For those who are new to or haven't studied the topic of Buddhist tenets, then these terms will be a bit alien, but just briefly, Buddhist philosophy or the view of Buddhism is presented, asserted differently by different philosophical schools. And generally it's said that there are 4 philosophical schools, though they all have their own subdivisions. How these 4 then differ? They are graduated in terms of profundity. And so those who accept the highest philosophical school, namely the Prasangika Madhyamika, will assert this degree of profundity that differs from each school below to them, but holding themselves as holding the highest view. But of course, anyone who ascribes to a particular view will see theirs as being the correct view and the others as being not quite right. But anyway, holding to the view of the Prasangika, the order is presented in terms of profundity, starting with the coarsest explanation, that is of the Vaibhashika school, or in English, the Great Exposition school. And then slightly subtler presentation is that of the Sautrantika school, or the Sutra school. And then a far subtler presentation is that of the Chittamatrin school, or the mind-only school. And then comes the 4th school, that of the Madhyamaka, or the middle way school. So these are the 4 schools, although we often refer to 5 because the 4th one, Madhyamika, or Madhyamaka, that is divided into 2, and those the differences between them often come up. So the Madhyamaka is divided into the Svatrantika and the Prasangika, or in English, the autonomous middle way school and the consequence middle way school. In brief, though, these differ in terms of subtlety or profundity.
O Shingyo Chikche, Dele do Sawa Shingyo Chikche, then Dele Sapshing and Yunguru, the Centric, Nambo, Centric Lobsang Dorje, Atisha, Geshe Thubten and Jampa Diwade, Centric Lobsang Dorje, and yet Jampa Lobsang Chikche, the senior Matiki, the Sawa Hawada, and didn't actually remember Yunguru, I didn't see what Chagua. Centric Lobsang and the Nambo, the Chikche, and didn't go. Audio session, and Jampa Diwaji, Yanga Centric Yagi Church into the senior Mati or Tatara Meva, Chatuya Yumurua, or Dinaji, and the Yagi Rodo, and the senior Chasana, Kashetata Membaraji, Musura, Dinoji Chagurua.
This division we can relate to perhaps by thinking of the scientific world. So when one studies a particular field of science, one will slowly, over a period of time, develop one's view and understanding, not starting out with the subtlest, most profound understandings, because one hasn't developed the right basis of knowledge that final or the highest understanding arrived in dependence on. So one will start with easier presentations, come to understand them well, and then one will be guided to subtler presentations, to subtler theories. In this way, one's knowledge will grow sequentially. One won't just be totally confused from the outset, but slowly over time, one's intelligence and knowledge of the subject will develop. And And so that's one way that we can relate to the Buddhist philosophic, different presentations of Buddhist philosophy. Another way is in science, when a particular view is widely accepted, after some time though, a new view can become dominant, can become established, when something new is discovered or a new way of understanding is discovered. And now, independent on previous understanding, a new subtler understanding has come about. So this too is the approach that is taken in the division of philosophical understanding in Buddhism, that one progresses sequentially through the coarser understandings, and as one's knowledge and experience develops, the subtler understandings become not only easier to ascertain, but start to have a more profound impact on oneself.
Dinadegi Tadu Yasho de Tenyu Tadu de Yashoina, that you Tadu de Janshan and Judua, and the Jeramawada, Dodebada, Semzimbe Tadu Tiki, and Jangwa Mindua Sempege, Yosigua, Tine and Zanganjugi, Jangwa de Karelana, Karipingors and Jerama Tadu de Jambana, and the Lobsang Mason, Chungania Chelsea Jambana, Jala Lela, Chagurua, or Dinashi. The Jerama with Taruti Tavana, Delatin, Dodi Tarushi and Lela. Then the nigger Dodi Bataru, Oma Chan, the Gamakan, the Shin and Lela, Chatwood, Chichi Chagora. Gine, Anjik, and the Deb Julo, the Taru Chasangi, Lobjon Chick Matoina, Deb Julo, the Gabriela Rari Yoresada, Gabriel Rari Yomaresada, and the nature. The Kagiri Tembares, Karinas, something that Chigungru, Chizadinza, Odedi Shadi, Jerama with Tevaresha, Dine, Semzabe Tevaresha, Diuma with Tutadigi Taduki Resha, Tadupti, Mano, Matubache, Sosorang, Tadupti Karimba, the Sebu Hago to Yagi, in Kavayungurua.
A common question then is, if there is these varying views of Buddhist philosophy, and it's widely said that the Prasangika view is the most profound and is the final view, why do we need to understand the other views? What is the point of this? Let's just study the Prasangika, or let's just study the Madhyamaka view and not bother with the rest. Well, one can do that, but misunderstandings are likely to come, and also the impact that the Prasangika view will have on one's mind is likely to be lessened. And this is because if one progresses through the graduated sequence of starting with the coarser views and coming to understand them well, seeing how this knowledge, whether it's true or not in terms of one's own experience, coming to see the mistakes in the view and overcoming those mistaken views, through this sequence of understanding, one's own, of course, knowledge is developing, but so is the strength of one's wisdom. And in this way, when one is progressing sequentially, it becomes easier to understand the subtler views, not in a coarse way, but a profound manner, in a manner that has an impact on us. So this is one important reason why one progresses through the sequence of tenets. A second reason is that various masters have composed their texts in accordance with varying tenets. Some texts are written, such as this one, from the Sautrantika view. Others are written from the Chittamatra view or the Svatrantika view, and so forth. So if one lacks a good education in the varying tenets, one will read a text not realizing that it's written from a particular perspective and say, this text is wrong. That author doesn't know what he's talking about. I know better. When actually this text has been composed from a particular perspective, and therefore from that perspective it is not mistaken. But rather, through one's broad knowledge, one will understand the point that is being made, and one will be able to see the validity of the point, and will also be able to understand it through the lens of the higher tenets, and thereby one's own understanding will become deeper. So this then is a second reason that one needs a broad understanding of tenets, as well as to develop that understanding sequentially.
And na sosorangi dan sosoli nyamlen chewala adi nyaba nyel sheba na jim pando yobache da maze da sosorangi nyamlen chewala de nyel sheba de pando roada de nyel she sosoi tawa di di she sa ha ko ya dan an jaya le ya oma tawa che koma tawa shin le la de sosorangi pando che gorowa na yang sosorangi shen ya pambo tubala 아니 수수라다 가지고 잡아침비 취념내 제게 지금 나 소소라게 샘제 탐제를 팬버 두고 인스네 샘제 탐제 현대 두고로 현대 두고 완자 시 당아주기 제라마웨게 따위에 남샤치 마신 바나 제라마웨 따와를 뒤베 유현 데니기 뭐가 유현 질이야 안지 시로 취시 송바네 제라마와 시변 데슬이야 제라마의 취시고로 지난디 제라마베 따위 남샤 마신웨는 콘솔라 제라마베 거 근데 그런서 뒤따위 남샤고 시싱이 말해 네 너데 바다 되니기 좀더 소소랑랑기 되니기 두절이야 팬비기 취셔발라 소소랑랑기 따위 좀더 하고 그래서 네 뇌비 따와라 되고 이렇게 뭐가 이간들 취셔나 뇌비 따위 뭐가 따위 남샤단 시고로 디나제 샘자마다 랑주바 탱주바 지나디네자 고 좀더 마와데 시 여바인자 디기 릭래야 안 시 용구로와데 신가서 데니게 장 되버 여ken 되니를 tum바여 디릭 여ken 제가 디줄을 최셔발라 디스게 따위 남샤 소소라나데 하고 그래 제가 하고 와리 셰나 안데 판도 여바래 제가다 라릭 되버 메디겐 네 제라마베 따와도 라릭세 되버 메디겐 데니기나 라릭 거다 셈자베 따와나 되리베 따여 거시네 라릭 시나 콘솔라 핑기말 되어 어디디 최신의 민두사데 nye 마냐게 여러 제가 생기 시한래 판도 주발라 아니 시한래 최된제 대외 남샤다 되니게 남냠네 림바 템발라 안디기 대외 남샤데 소소라나 마신바이나 안 소소를 시한래 시네 시한래 판도 주투 말에 제가 된자 시한래 판도 주발라야 소소라나 기디 대외 남샤데 귀여 봐서 하고 가지고 그래서 제가 된자 장고에 되게 모르겠어 오늘
If we're studying the various tenets, Buddhist philosophical views, and we come studying them in the correct sequence, and as we're progressing in our knowledge, developing knowledge from coarser presentations to subtler presentations, then the coarser presentations tend to be easier to understand and easier therefore to apply to our practice. And as our practice and our own mental development, our own insight into our minds develops, then we can start to apply the subtler philosophical views to our practice to come to gain understanding of ourselves in ever finer detail. So this then is one benefit one further benefit of studying tenets in a broad way across the varying philosophical views. A second important benefit is that we approach the Buddha Dharma from the perspective here of the Mahayana. So with the motivation to become a being of great benefit in this world, a being who's able to interact with others in a very skilled manner, in a manner in accordance with the individual personalities, the individual predispositions of others. So in order to become more skilled in how we interact with others, we need to gain a very fine understanding of the workings of the mind, and we need to come to understand, and in order to do so, we need to develop a very broad knowledge and an experience based on that knowledge. And as we do so, for example, we come to understand the worldview as presented by the Vaibhashikas, and the worldview as presented by the Sautrantikas and the Chittamatrans and so forth. As we come to understand all of these very clearly, we will of course be developing spiritually within ourselves. And when we meet others whom we feel will be more inclined to a particular view, say of the Vaibhashika or of the Sautrantika, we will then be able to guide them, to be of benefit to them, to guide them in accordance with the tenet that they most resonate with, that accords with their own personality most. So by us developing experience based on broad knowledge, this gives us a far more powerful toolkit to be able to interact with others in a way that is in accordance with their own unique personalities, and therefore be able to guide others more skillfully.
나지버와 당주기 기 롭정 롭시네 아니 천릭 되고 유연절에 천릭 라브로치람나 천릭 라야라 소소 천릭 신고거래 안지 라야라 소소 안지 신고거래 인지 라야라 소소 기 라야라 소소 기 신고거래 제가 디네기 안데지게 소소 샤리아 기 라야다 안지 라야다 천릭 라야 랍지 샤리아 판도르 주고什么呢 판도 제발라 소소기 디 신고거래 제가 마신베나 랍지 로버지 도야 메르와 어디 나신 지바샤거래.
And this approach is similar, is the same as to what we understand in our everyday lives. If one comes to know a particular topic, then one can utilize that knowledge to be of benefit to others. But we can only benefit others to the extent of our knowledge. We can't help others beyond our knowledge. So if we want to help others to develop skills in language, if we know one language, and we know that one language well, we can help others, we can help them well, but only in the context of that one language. We can't help them to gain knowledge of other languages that we don't know. Likewise with science. If we are skilled in a very limited area of science, we can help others in that area of science and maybe help them well, but only there. We can't help them anywhere beyond that. So in the context of the Mahayana Dharma, where we want to help people, a very broad range of people, and help them in the most profound ways, we really need to develop ourselves to develop a very broad knowledge, an experience based on this broad knowledge.
펜버주야라 라신이가 판도바라 좀더 시계기 대외 남샤티기 하고 거야 차고래 세상 소소라라 tenjuba 지부기 좀 달이야 롭종 제대로에나 라유바다 샘잠바다 안데 되대바다 제라마기 따와 따르지 하고 먹었나 tenjubi 대외 남샤티 세부 휴지 하고 돼 갈래하고 차고래 진짜 tenjubi 따와 소소라라 냠는 tenjubi 따위 돈에 냠는 제바이네 전수기 제라마 되대바다 샘잼에 따위 남샤티기 파 로지 하고 에나 tenjubi 따위 남샤티 세부 휴 하고야 다 소소리야 내가 쉬울이야 세부 땡땡 하고 해야지 야가 용거로 봐.
So therefore, in brief, there are tremendous benefits that come to oneself as well as to others. If one comes to a very broad and detailed understanding of the Buddha Dharma, if one comes to know all the tenet schools well. In terms of benefit for oneself, if one just concentrates on the highest philosophical view, that of the Prasangika, and doesn't come to know well the views of the other tenets, the reality is it will be difficult to come to understand the Prasangika well, because one has not gone through an in-depth enough training. So therefore, there's not much benefit will come to oneself if one just focuses on the Prasangika. But if one goes through the sequence of trainings, coming to know them all well, there will be profound impact. The Prasangika view will have a profound impact on oneself, because the basis of knowledge has been developed. So that's the benefit for oneself. And then, in terms of benefit for others, having this broad and detailed knowledge, one is then able to guide others in accordance with their own personalities and be of an ever greater benefit to others.
Yores, they don't be Samad Mena, the Yomares. Penanzo Kambina, Jala Zevena, and Delia and Sagitilla, Chike, Semjen Kangaroos, do Midus Jeva Cheven, Manzupa, Shimju Che, Haspa Zechin, Kanguru Toyagi, Semaji Gemena, out of Delia Kangaroo Mindu like it is, Mindu like it is. So that the Niki, Tombi, Semaji, Tombi, Semaj Giena, open it do like it is. Chesa, Manzo Jala Kara in a Yeda me said. You may jeba jed and the topic is Samajuna, the Yovares, the tongue is Samaj Mena, the Mevares Chachai, which is a Yeda me jeba jedi, the tongue is Sama Yumelici, Raligo Regile.
Valor cognizers are of great importance, because it's independence on the valor cognizer that we can say whether something exists or doesn't exist. Or we can say independence on the valor cognizer whether there is something there or something is not there. So if we want to know whether a kangaroo exists in a particular area of space, or in a particular room or area, then we need to look for the kangaroo. And if we come to know that the kangaroo is there, we come to know independence on giving rise to a valid cognizer, such as seeing it and giving rise to a direct valid cognizer. And in this way, we can know that there is definitely a kangaroo there, or there definitely isn't. So this is why valid cognizers are so important, because for something to exist, it depends on a valid cognizer being able to assert that it does exist, or equally does not. Hence, valid cognizers are of great importance.
Sema kono su ha ure ane sema kono yeba ha kono sure es la yodu andelia rangrik sa chiore sema kono sheba kono ha go ganki rangrik sa chi ngures 지사 rangrik digi sheba de du gores 지사 또 반자 ane sheba digi su ta di ro ra cha thon ya gi sheba de yore se de wa she da yi sheba cha sa yore yoba de kasan de 냠소 녀베 셰바디게 냠소 녀가 라릭스야 지어레스 니기 도고레스 제사 라릭디게 또 반자 고도 여바레스 월다 데 라릭 샤고비 김센데 지르디레다 고 셰바 이게 왕베 셰바디 이 셰바디 아니 여바디 수하고 그래 코롱코롱 도고레베 가네스야네 지디 아니 수하고 그래도 데 냠소 녀가 라릭스 용그레스 니기 도고레스 제사디 여바하고 아니 라릭스야스
So valid cognizers are so important because its independence on a valid cognizer, that form or any kind of object, can be said to definitely exist or not exist. And then, if the valid cognition is so important, how does one know whether one has had a valid cognition of something? Well, valid cognition is a consciousness, and it relies on a self-knower to know what that consciousness has realized or not. So the previous subdivisions of direct perception, sense direct perceivers, mental direct perceivers, they have their own self-knower, they're self-knowing direct perceivers. And it's a self-knowing direct perceiver that ascertains whether the object was directly perceived or not, whether the object of the senses or the mental object was directly perceived or not.
Bendigo rangrik said yo mares orda maybe gimsen garoson rangrik labde so ki toba said lagu ores kyorangida the rangrik labde rang la so lagro rig la toba la chesa so ki toba lagu dene ji gogo ores kyorang chesa Bendigo rangrik said yo mares bene mirochina be misubu ya bokaje jimbe na korong subu lujeje 코롱 차바 강이야 쉔투그레 쉔투 말해라
어디 하면서 차바
소스라랑 소스 강을 고강이야 뒤투그레 베스네 뒤투가 말했어
어디 하면서 거나
근데 네 조스 강이야 뒤투그가 나랑 고강이야 뒤투그레 베스네 도마 저 수부까지 야부 수부 대부 류제 대부 간의 주변에 다 수부 대부 되게 강바라바 주르나 뒤지투그레스 강바 되게 소스 고강을 차야다 뒤지투그레스 이나 소스라랑 소스 수부 차상 소수 수부 강래야 샤투그리베슨 디샤투야 말했어. 제가 수부 데니게 투구민도 와스 디나신 집어서는 진노부치나 니기 신제다 현다 차상 제투고 말했어. 진노부까지 여바나 코롱 지기 말했어. 제투고 말했어. 그러와 지 코롱 노부치는 니제라 현다지기 레제 현다지기 제는마도 코롱게 제투고 말했어. 제가 디네자 랑릭세디 결혼기 셰바 코롱을 또봐 레고레스 대제라모 수레고르다 도디바데 셈참 레고르 랑 리클라데 소소르게 또 레고레스 진짜 데니스 요마 소소게 또야 균이요 말레스 매반자 셰바 간데 지나 코롱 또 말레스 진짜 매반 빼나 티가네 노부시나 코롱이 찌 말레스 미수부가제 대부에나 코롱 야 첨제 코롱 고가 야 랑투야요 말레스 진짜 베디나신 셰바 간에 지 리본노보 셰바 간에 지네 코롱 또 세도 용 말레스 진짜 데네자 랑릭세야디 코롱이 랍네 지금 말레스 쿠치 코롱 베제다나 랑릭세 지 베제다 샤네 지금 말레스네 다 제라 마웨기 메비 김센델 디시 거다
we just mentioned then that the purpose of a self-knower, or the function of a self-knower, is independence on a self-knower, that one knows what has been perceived. But then what about those such as the Vaibhashika school, the great exposition school, that doesn't accept a self-knower? So they say there's no... A self-knower, as the name implies, it knows itself, or it realizes itself. There's no need for a consciousness to know itself or to realize itself. There's no need for it. There's no such thing. And they present some illustrations that take a sharp knife. No matter how sharp it is, or independent on how sharp it is, it can cut a wide variety of objects. But no matter how sharp it is, it cannot cut itself. Likewise, with our physical body, I know that I can sit on this chair, I can sit on this table, but I also know I can't sit on my own head. So there's no need. So using these illustrations, they say consciousness doesn't need to realize itself. In fact, consciousness cannot realize itself, no matter how intelligent one is, no matter how sharp one's intelligence it is. Consciousness doesn't realize itself. Therefore, there is no such thing as a consciousness that does realize itself, or a knower that realizes itself, a self-knower.
이내 당하고 디단 디레 세다하고 말 디내 당한 저기 다 원배 셰바 셰야데 다 디마 통한디게 세다 원배 셰바레 다디 아니 이기 셰바세 림바로 디네 디네 기요 바데 저기 지기 세고 하고야 직다 디네 원배 셰바 데라양 저 이기 셰바나 원배 원숨 데라양 세마다 지세 나라망아 바세요 지자 나라망아 바세디 나와 점마도 Neva Shiomare, Jimevanza, Nala Mangi, Jesu Janji Lamsa, Dida Reda Mares, and Tasha Cheban, Nutrichimbu, Yanga Yores, the Nigi Anzuki, Nala Mangabu, Jesu Janji Lamsa, and the Chiki Dida Dires, Tasha Majeki, Kabara, Chik Sam Dare, and the Membege Danganzuki, Yi Sheba Namdo, Decha, Contro, Naja Rigmambu, Chiganzu, Kariligor, Niema won't be sheepy, Jesu John, the one shake you last of a tongue, and the jalas of Goji, Delatin to Namdo Tamarakiana, and Digi Tony Anzulia, and the same shitty Mevasua, and the Yungore. Just a dinner is a dinner Yombaina, Nazuki, that the Su Karija Howard, and Semlia Namdota, Amara Semakiba Yadi, Karijin Ungusan, a Dejingi. Migi Denisi, Amcholomas, Denish course, that Delatine, me dine some of the Yana Yado Korchi, Makiva Yungudu, when Dini Yungudu Samche, Chesama Bananga, Dinigi, Yanga Yubeki, Jata, and the Suktoya Sopa, Delia Matawache, Sabsache Park, Wompu Kotamia Chevana, and so surrounding Namdo Makiva, Control Makiva, the Dusha Makiva, Kevar Yung, Mungochi to Gore, and Gisinia Dewan Zugu Suk. Wongbugi Benjamin Baro Coche, Diane Yando, some dance, to get Semakiwa, Control, Semakiwa, Chagueva, and then the Yoba, and then to go that Yama, need one share that Denish Naji, D. Namdot in the Kidu, some Dipa Shah, Denima, Tonsa, Sasare, some Jedinma, to some Madaja, Jampa Jechuvaina, Matamash, some down the Lamsan Kasha, some Matawashawaina, and Similia and Namdo Makiwa, the Kiwa, which is not Dineza, Digi Namsharush, Ishimpi, Kabaroji, Kevin Duhalia, Denis Yungorwa.
We'll stop here then for this study. We're going to continue from this point next time. So then just to recap briefly what we've looked at this weekend. So these various awarenesses, we tend to have these. So we've spoken about how awareness can be divided in many ways, and we looked at last night into the division of awareness into sense consciousnesses and mental consciousnesses. And we spoke about the importance of understanding how we engage with objects, because we tend to go through our life but not very aware of what mental activity is going on, not very mindful of our mental activity. And this leads to many problems. Similarly, when we have a non-ascertaining awareness or someone else has a non-ascertaining awareness, this can lead to many problems, as was mentioned earlier. When you think that you have said something to someone else, and the sound would have appeared to their ear, but it was a non-ascertaining awareness, which means they didn't ascertain, they didn't realize what was said, so therefore they have no recollection of what was said at all, or what was perhaps seen. And then from this, many problems can come. So the purpose of the presentation this weekend was to present this knowledge, this information. And now what I hope you do over these following 2 weeks is to come to understand it, to read through your notes, and to come to understand it well, and then to reflect on it, to think about it, to meditate on it, to come to see whether this presentation is valid or not, whether this is the process that our mind goes through or not. In particular, look at the presentation last night, where we look at when our mind is disturbed in a particular way, either in a desire or attachment for something, or aversion and anger towards something. Where did that come from? And you'll see in most cases, first there was an object that appeared to one of our sense consciousness, and whilst it can be an object that appeared to any of our sense consciousnesses, it was most probably something that we saw or something that we heard. Then we had the object that appeared to the sense power, and that, and in dependence on the sense power, the sense consciousness arose, and from that then the various, we first had the mental direct perceiver, which was non-ascertaining, and then we had all these over-conceptualizing minds come. So an easy example is when we're thinking about something that someone said to us, and we're really upset about something that we heard earlier in the day or perhaps a few days before. So when we notice this, look at the sequence that we have gone through. Sound is the object. It was the object of our ear sense consciousness, but that ear sense consciousness arose in dependence on the ear sense power. Then there was some theory about a mental direct perceiver arising for a moment, and it was non-ascertaining. So this we can't realize. But anyway, we remind ourselves of the theory. But in dependence on something that we heard, we've now got all the worry about what they said about us, the fear about possible consequences that may come, etc. So in this way, we come to understand the sequence of events. And here, this knowledge presents us with an opportunity to do something about this. Here we can either apply our other knowledge that we've received from other classes, remind ourselves that this is sound, it's just mere sound. We impute later by mind meaning onto this, and independence, and therefore sound itself, those words itself, have no intrinsic value. They don't truly exist. Rather, we impute meaning onto them. In this way, we see they're empty of this value that we've imputed onto them. They don't exist in that way. And that causes us to relax. That causes our mind to separate from all this emotion and become free and spacious. Well, alternatively, just remind ourselves that sound is impermanent. This is just an impermanent phenomenon. It's arisen to our sense power, and then therefore, in dependence on that, our ear sense consciousness arose, and dependence on that, our various other mental consciousnesses arose, perhaps such as anger or as pride. So this is just an independent, impermanent sequence. Again, nothing of great value here, and we have many of these, and eventually they all get forgotten. So rather now, just let it go. It's only by grasping at this, seeing it in a way that, grasping at it in a way that it doesn't exist, that is causing us to get upset. But we can only go through these kinds of meditations and let go of these afflicted minds if we are mindful of our mental process and see what triggers us, what disturbs us. And then the more basic solution would be, when we come to understand what triggers us, to separate ourselves from those situations, those objects. Or if we have to encounter them, we know based on our meditations that when someone talks to me in this way or acts in this way, this tends to upset me. And now I see it happening. That's all that's going on. I'm just triggered in a way that I often am. That's all. And we can relax and we can let go and not grasp at it. So if we take the knowledge that we've acquired this weekend and we apply it in meditation in this way, then our time together will have had great benefits. And in the coming weeks, we'll hear these topics presented again, and we'll become ever more familiar with them. Right now, there's a lot that's new, but we'll become more familiar with them over the coming weeks as these same terms come up again and again. And we'll finish there for today, but if you have some questions, feel free to ask. If you don't have time to stay for questions, feel free to go. So, Jampa.
I'm just wondering what perceives an imagined object.
A perceived and an imagined object.
So in the case of whether or not it's a valid condition as well. So if I said, can you tell me what a 50-cent coin looks like? And then there's something in your mind that perceives a 50-cent coin and can relate it to me. And I would say, oh, that's right, you perceived that object in mind. And is that a valid, and from my point of view, that's a valid cognition if you're saying it's got 8 sides and it's got 2 flat sides as well. And I would say, oh, that's valid because I imagined that object and you clearly told me what it was.
Okay.
Is that a valid cognition?
In your mind, yeah? So you asked me to describe a 50-cent piece, and I describe it well back to you, and you say, yes, that is correct. So my description, you agreeing with that is a correct description, is your understanding of valid cognition.
Or your understanding of what I'm thinking.
Okay. 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 Dini tsemaki kola akati shigire ini pelte ngani dunti. Dini kongi ngala di ngul di gomong apchu di 50 cent gomong apchu de ngul de ngala dress jero hang. Dini nge kongla tak dress jedu. Dini kongi kenan dress de tak de. Dini kongi sem yamang nge sem tsema kiasonghe. Den ato di gomong apju de tongmasong tongkiyo mare danda tongmare ngoma tongson danda tongkiyo mare. Den doze di gomong apju de jaseje dokang di ngul de jaseje kara. Den di soja de chushi de chechung di ni sama nge chama kongla tak labne. Den kong re kera jase de kyasakya tampare tak de. Den ato ni tsema kiasonghe.
양보 의지 통으로와 마통데 대시게요 말.
네.
저런 게 대시게디 년마치 통으로와. 통내 디 통위기 저런 게 똑바로 샤데 잼바지 디 통하다 디 섭다 이다로 전시 대시게고로와. 나 그런 이내 디하고 저런 게 전시리 년마 통하게 전시리. 나 그런 게 저런 대시게와도 어디 되는지 레선비가 삼로끼리 디 똑바 이주로 지마도 똑바 세마 책이 말해 이주로 책이래. 다 그런라 전시 지용 시기에 년마 그런 통되게 전시 지용을 년마 통하게 전시리 똑바 밀로와 책이로 와 지시 책이로 와.
데니 나중 뭐마데 통도 데니데 체마레 예 단다 저수제도 데 이트레.
다데 저런 지시 제도 가르치시게 와서 년마도 통 차와인자 디 통의 지시게 거와. 저런 게 년마게 디 무이도 준비 전시. 디 지시로와 지시로.
이트 말에.
이주 말로 저런 게 전시 지시로 와. 다 그런 게 저런 게 콜레 지시 잡제 잡아도 그런 게 귤라 디 무이디 준비 똑바지기로 와. 디 벌써 이주래. 전시 책 말에 이주래.
그래서 되는 거만 이 고멍 앞주대 동도 때 제말에.
당보 통한테 제말이야.
Okay. So you asked me to describe a 50-cent piece, and I do that in dependence on having previously seen a 50-cent piece. When I saw that 50 cent piece previously, that would have been a direct valid cognition back then, yeah? Now, when I'm describing it to you, though, I'm relying on a memory. So that memory is a subsequent cognizer. So right now, I'm utilizing a subsequent cognizer. Whereas previously, when I saw the object, then that would have been a direct valid cognizer, but now I'm utilizing a subsequent cognizer. Then, in your consciousness, what arises then is a correct assumption. It's come about independent on this explanation, and then you're not giving rise to a direct valid cognizer or an inferential valid cognizer, but it's more likely to be a correct assumption. So just to say as an aside, these will all come up a little later. Okay. Cameron at the back.
Just in relation to the point made about those seekers not accepting self-knowing, I just wanted to know how we can refute such a thing. It's not an empirical point. So is it just simply a belief that can be proved?
So how can we refute Vaibhashika's view or the Sautrantica's view?
Both, either way.
Okay. Then Jedama konso rangri kelente gimare. Then Jedama gi dodepa gitawa kandres kagere yamena dodepe Jedama gi samsude kandres kagere.
Tade Jedama kaide dodibe rarix devane kelina 지금 말했을 연주 제대로와 도디베 따와 차상을 연주 제야 말와
예 타워디
대다와 라릭 지사지 제라마웨 대시 라릭 세데 지금 말했을 대시 셔야데 지가네 스노부이네 소소라나 소치 두고 누와스 티베티나신 셰바칸데 삽삽이네 소소라랑 소소랑 또 두고 말해 지사 소소라랑 소소라마도나 랑릭라요 마 랑기랑 또라요 말했은 연주 디지고래 나 도데베기 결혼 랑릭지 마샤바 있나 난 결혼 셰바 여긴 여바디 여다면 하고는 수하고 그래서 제가 셰바 여바 하고 건디 또 간지 고래서 제가 셰바 코론 또 민두스 결혼 힐링도 와서 코론 마도나 아니 셰바 코론 하고 간지 고르와 수도 그래라나 라리 메나 케멜레나 결혼 셰바 뒤에다면 세다 하고 하니 요 말해서 결혼라 디교지 그래.
The Vaibhashika then refute the Sautrantica's assertion of a self-know by using the illustration of the sharp knife, saying that the sharp knife can cut many things, but it cannot cut itself. So they use that illustration to refute the view of the Sautrantika. Sautrantika would reply to say, you Vaibhashikas, you accept, how do you know that you've had a particular consciousness? You accept, though, that consciousness doesn't know itself. And because consciousness knows itself, that you know you had a consciousness, and that itself is a self-knower. So there is a self-knower because consciousness knows itself. So that would be consciousness can't know itself, like a knife cannot cut itself. Sautrantika then said, but how do you know that you've had a particular consciousness? You only can know that because consciousness knows itself. And that is a self-know. So that is their discussion. And they may either agree with the other side and move to that side, or not accept what the other side said. Thank you.
Page 8.